We are live.
All right. Hey, welcome everybody.
Welcome to Friday.
Friday.
TGIF.
Thank God we are finally here. I mean, I know it takes a long time to get to Friday, but doggone it, we're here.
All right. All
Right.
right. So let's get this thing started.
So I know we're here. We're going to recap this week's episode of Love and Beyond the I Do. And this week we talked about intimacy. Intimacy in the form of orgasms. I mean, lengthening orgasms and all types of things. And we learned so much during that broadcast and that interview that we wanted to have the person on, Susan, back on to kind of talk about what's that all about. And, if you guys have questions, please, type them in the comments. If you're on Facebook and YouTube, type your questions and your comments in, and we'll see if we can get Susan to address some of those. But we're just going to have a good conversation about intimacy.
So today, Friday, let's get it started.
All right, without no further ado, let's go ahead and get Susan
All
in
right,
here so
let's
we can
get
talk
Susan.
about this.
All right. Let's get the expert. Let's get the sex expert in and tell us what's going on in marriages. So,
Happy
Susan,
Friday.
Happy Friday, Susan. How are
Great to see
you?
you again. So happy to be back with you. I love your energy. I love your love.
Thank you. And
Thank
we
you.
love being with you.
Yes,
Absolutely.
learned so much. So I'm sure you're going to drop some more gems today as you
Yes.
did last time.
We love your spirit.
Yes.
So tell us today. So on the episode, we talked about when marriages get dull, right? When they get dull, how to liven them back up. And most of the time it's due to sex. That's not the only thing, but that's usually the first thing, right? That's the first thing that goes besides money, right?
Yeah. Well, in a way, I almost think it's even more that romance goes away for
Right.
her and sex goes away for him. And it's kind of this cycle where each party checks out on the other one because women are wanting a little bit more of that flirting and connection and surprises and adoration. And she's not going to give him the respect that he wants and the appreciation and gratitude that he wants and the intimate touch and loving that he wants when she's not getting those things first. It's definitely, you have to put your attention on it. You really do. It's something where it's a lot of fun, but it takes intention.
Absolutely. And I think
Intimacy takes attention?
intention.
Intention. Oh, okay. All right. 'Cause I'm like, I give you plenty of attention. Okay.
No, we have to be intentional in what we're trying to accomplish in relationships, and as well as in the bedroom as outside. And I think sometimes we forget about that. So how do we keep the romance alive?
Yes.
How do we keep, and not just so
We want it hot. We just don't want it alive. We want it hot.
and I think sometimes we intermingle sex and romance,
Mhm.
but they do go hand in hand even though they're different.
Yes, they are two sides of the same coin. That's how I like to say it. I think it was 2016. I decided I wanted to read all about romance. I wanted to learn what romance really was. And I wanted to help my guys who follow me understand the things that women want that are romantic and which one of those will actually get them laid. Because you know how guys are. They're like, what's the shortcut? Give me the checklist. Just tell me what to do and I'll do it.
Right, exactly.
And I looked at all of the different types of romance and I realized that there were some pretty broad categories, some kind of pillars of passion. And one of them is mindfulness and intention, really making a commitment to having a romantic life. And that's the piece of it that's presence and noticing and being aware and being directed. And then there are some that are more like meaning making. This is the playlist we used to play when we first fell in love,
Yes.
or this is the photo wall of our, just your video intro
Right.
is meaning making. You look at that and you're like, right, I love love. It's so cute when you guys have matching outfits, right?
right, exactly. And we got a couple comments here. Susan, Lava the Poet says, put your intention on it, which is
Yeah.
it makes all the sense in the world, right? Thank you, Lava, for that. We really appreciate that. And we got one from David. David, go ahead, baby.
No.
Oh,
You
hi.
are.
A certain kind of attention with specific levels of intention, I think. Okay. Yeah. What
Looks like we've got some lovers on the line.
Yeah.
We got some live lovers going on today. Yeah, so there's the meaning making piece of things. And then the one that is really, I think, the trick one, the good one, the one the guys want to know about, which is, how do I draw her toward me physically? And I remember that when I was learning how to ride a horse, my instructor said, when your horse is ignoring you, you have to get their attention. And the way that you get a horse's attention is you make them move their feet. You take them by the halter and you walk them in a circle, and then they're paying attention to you. And that really is, we're all animals. We are part of the animal kingdom. We love to think we're these lofty Homo sapiens that are somehow above animals, but we are animals. And we are animals just like horses are animals. And to move a person's emotions, you move their body. And if you go on Shutterstock or any kind of thing and you put loving couple or something like that, the first kinds of pictures that'll come up are things like a couple hiking, a guy rowing a girl in a boat across a lake, the couple holding hands and being on a Ferris wheel, their movement. And that's a really, really good idea for just generally in relationship, in romance, is to move your bodies together. I don't have to tell you how romantic dancing is. Well, why don't we dance with each other more in the living room? Why aren't we just not moving our bodies together? If you want to move your body together in bed, move your body together outside the bedroom. I think that's probably one of the best tips I can give for what would be a romantic thing to do. How about a bike ride? How about a walk through nature? How about the botanical park? Any of those kinds of things are really nice. And then there are the kinds of things like feeding your lover a morsel of food, right? Here, baby, taste this chocolate. Or here are flowers because they're beautiful and they smell good. Why are flowers and perfume romantic gifts? Because they're sensual.
Right.
Yes.
So these are the romantic things: sensual, emotional, moving. That's fun for everybody.
And it doesn't take a lot to do that. I mean, you give some roses and you give a nice scent of perfume or cologne or whatever, or you put some cologne on for your special someone, and then they tend to treat you a little different. They want to be a little closer to you.
It does arouse the senses, right?
Yeah, it does.
So whenever you put on something that smells good, it's there for a reason. It's supposed to arouse the senses. So if we want to get our mate to notice us again, let's start doing the things that arouse them in the first place, right?
Yeah.
Which means sometimes we have to change our clothing.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Oh, you mean my bike outfit's not going to work? It's low cut.
No, that might work.
Exactly.
But you have to change it up some.
So how are we getting couples to realize that sex can go to a whole new level if we're being intentional about the bedroom?
Yeah. Well, one of the most important things is to keep learning new things together in the bedroom. Scheduling lovemaking dates. I call them erotic play dates.
All right.
Because if you say to your partner, do you want to have sex? Generally, if the masculine says to the feminine, hey, do you want to have sex? She's going to be like, I don't know, maybe not, because he hasn't done anything to warm her up. He hasn't begun to seduce her. He hasn't been touching her body. He hasn't been flirting with her. He's ready to go. He's way ahead of her. She has to catch up to him. So he has to turn around and come back and get her and help her get into the connection, get out of her head and into her body. Because estrogen makes us have our attention on so many things, where testosterone is kind of like full speed ahead, ready to go.
Oh, yeah.
So erotic play dates are more fun because you could say, what about on Thursday night when the kids are both at whatever, what about if we do some G-spot awakening? Or what about if we try yoni massage? Or what about if we try maybe this new sex position that Susan Bratton gave us called Come Full Circle? It's this crazy sex position I made up. When we first started our company 15 years ago, we had a podcast network with 40 shows on it. We started out 15 years ago with podcasts.
Wow.
Way, way, way before our time. And one of the shows that we had was called Sex, Love, and Intimacy with Chaz August. And Chaz is the most amazing man in the world. You should have him on your show. He is an instructor at the Human Awareness Institute. And the Human Awareness Institute has this 7-level program called Sex, Love, and Intimacy, which essentially takes you through moving through shame and repression and moving into understanding your body, and then moving into understanding how your sexuality works and how to make love and feel intimately connected. And every week he would have on an expert, and the expert would give some kind of a tip. And I remember listening to this show, and I don't remember who the expert was at the time, but this expert, and I don't even remember whether it was a man or a woman, talked about the 360-degree sex position. And it's kind of this double corkscrew thing that you do. And it actually doesn't, you don't have to be in that great a shape, and you don't have to be that flexible to do it.
So anyone can do it.
Almost anyone can do it. Like if you had bad joints or arthritis, or you were, very mismatched in size, could be a problem.
Okay.
But generally most people can do it. And you're having intercourse. So the penis is in the vagina, but she's swirling around on top of you, and then you're swirling around back on top of her. And I listened to that podcast and I never forgot it. And years later, I dug it out and I went through the transcript and I listened to the whole thing and I wrote it down, and I was like, okay, I think I got it. And then I said to my husband, Tim, who I've been with for 30 years this year,
all right,
I want to do come full. So I want to try this 360-degree double helix sex position thing with you. And of course his answer was okay, because
he wasn't going to turn it down. Absolutely.
Right.
You cannot be married to a sex expert if your answer is not okay. He is basically just a yes to anything I can cook up, which is awesome. And he has ideas of his own, by the way.
All right.
So we do this 360-degree sex position. We have a blast doing it. We are cracking up. It is super fun. And I said, I'm turning this into an ebook because people just need to have this. So I had it custom illustrated. I give it away for free. It's at Come Full Circle. I had to spell come C-U-M, which I generally don't like to do. I like to spell it C-O-M-E, but it's CUMFULLCIRCLE.com. And you can download it. We took pictures. We had a friend take pictures of us doing it. And then we were clothed, and then we gave them to one of my illustrators, and she did all the panels so you could see exactly how to do it. And you download this, and then you can see what to do. And then you're all like, okay, I got, all right, no, you put your arm here. No, okay, wait, just lift your hand up a little bit.
How many times did you guys have to try that before you actually got to come full circle?
We did it the first time.
Did you? All right.
So it's all right.
And so just even doing something silly like that, like a new sex position or a sex in a new location, these are the things that keep it fresh and keep it fun. So when you say, hey, Thursday night, would you like to have an erotic play date where we try a new sex position called Come Full Circle and you twirl around on my dick? Versus, hey, do you want to have sex? It's like, I will take A instead of B. The penis is still going in the vagina, but it's a lot more fun.
Right. Sounds better. sounds more inviting, right?
Right, for sure. Wow.
So are you guys going to try that position now? Are you going to?
Absolutely. Oh, we were going to try it before. So
Yeah,
yeah,
we haven't gotten a chance to, but so maybe when we try it, hopefully we can accomplish it the first time like you guys did, and then we'll come back on and talk about it.
Good.
I don't know. I don't think we'll take pictures though. No.
No, we'll use the imagination.
You can take pictures afterward of your smiles on your face.
There you go.
He'll be asleep. So I'll take the picture of his smile on his face as he's sleeping.
That's right. That's exactly it.
All right.
So
when couples are finding out, come full circle. What did it say?
Okay. Oh, okay. Let's see here. We got another comment here. It says, "Come full circle."
Hashtag what?
Note to self for marriage too. Oh, number 2.
Oh, for marriage number 2.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. That's right. Things to try.
If you didn't get to try,
if you didn't get to try the first
right.
time in your marriage, that's okay. There's still things that you need to do.
So those couples that are stuck right now, right? So they're having blah sex. They're stuck. Tell them where to go to help them, navigate them to a place, to the Susan place where they can go to try new things and try to incorporate this in their marriage somehow.
Well, everybody's so different. That's the thing about sex, is that I like to meet people wherever they are. So for some people, it could be I'm bored. We do the same old things. For other people, it could be I'm not really having the orgasms I hope I could have, or I heard that are possible.
Okay.
For others, it's like sex is really great for us and we want to take it to the next level. We're interested in what could we do? Could we try maybe a pleasuring technique such as G-spot awakening, or learning female ejaculation, or learning male multiple orgasm for him, or doing yoni and lingam massage, which is vulva and penis massage, or maybe we want to try whatever, anything, number of things. So you kind of have to think about what it is you want. And the place to find it all is at my website, personallifemedia.com, where I have thousands of articles on anything and everything you could think of. And basically you'll go there and you'll click on something, and then you'll click on another thing, and then you'll click on another thing, and then you'll click on another thing. You're like, oh my God, no, I can't decide what I want to do. I want to do it all. And then I'm like, girl, make a list, because you can just check stuff off as you go. This is how I am. I always, when I don't have a new thing I want to try, I just think to myself, okay, universe, what's in store for me next? What are you going to throw my way? What kind of new thing am I going to try? Because I'm a sexpert. I've been learning about sexuality, sex, love, intimacy for 15 years straight, day in, day out. And I still have new things I want to try. One of the newest things that I've been trying is a new sex toy that I really like. It's called the Womanizer Duo. I'm doing this 15-week orgasm challenge. Did I tell you guys about that when I was
No, you didn't. No.
Wow.
Oh, you're holding back.
Wait, 15 weeks.
Well,
I am not holding back. I just have to.
You're holding back. But I do want to.
She's definitely not
holding back. Yeah, I do want to say this now. We have Susan Bratton on from betterlover.com, correct?
Yeah.
Yep. And she was on this week's podcast. You can pick it up at lovingbeyondtheido.com/61. Go check out the episode. Then after you check out the episode, go check out our website. And I'm going to tell you, you're going to get on that website and you're going to be on it, because she has a million things on there for you to do, try, read, and she can educate you on
you can do
intimacy.
You can do them all.
Yes,
just
you can.
Write a list and check them off.
If you ever thought of it, Susan has a program for it.
Okay,
yeah, so I've been trying this Womanizer Duo because I'm doing a 15-week orgasm challenge. I recently sat down and said, okay, what are all the different kinds of orgasms that the male body can have, and what are all the different kinds of orgasms that the female body can have? Okay. And there are approximately 20 kinds of orgasms. Some of them are locations you touch, like a nipplegasm. Others are techniques such as the practice of having expanded orgasms together. And then other ones are more like object oriented, such as a fetish or fantasy or role play or sex toys. And one of the, I think it's my third week of the challenge, was to have a blended orgasm for him and a blended orgasm for her. The blended orgasm for her is clitoral pleasuring at the same time you're stroking the G-spot. And I give specific techniques for things you can do to basically send energy between the fingers on the outside and the fingers on the inside, and different stroking techniques. But equally for people who, perhaps like Lava the Loving Poet, who might not currently have a partner, there is the blended orgasm for the Womanizer product called the Duo, where it's basically the Womanizer, which is this little air, little clitoral sucking device that has a vibrator that goes inside to stimulate the G-spot at the same time as you're sucking the clitoris, and it's a sex toy. And then for men, the blended orgasm is the prostate pleasuring with the penile pleasuring at the same time. And so that's his blended orgasm. And there are really good prostate tools that you can use, remote control, vibrating, etc., with self-pleasuring. So you can do these with or without a partner, which I think is also very, very important.
So David and Lava, you can have a partner or not have a partner, or maybe you guys can meet up.
Do whatever you want, Lava Lover.
All right. So now we're not only doing it with the partner, but we're bringing in sex toys. So those are also things that we can do. Go ahead.
Right, but you have to get over that that notion that sex toys aren't for, aren't the things that you need to bring into your bedroom. You have to get over that too, because a lot of people feel like, we don't need to do that, So you have to get past that. How do you get someone to get past feeling icky about the sex toys?
Well, a couple of things. Why would you deny yourself all the pleasure possible? That would be one. Number two, Susan Bratton gives you permission to have way more fun than you're having. So please go ahead and continue forward.
All right.
Yes.
Number three, your fingers and tongue, as lovely as they are, and penis, don't vibrate or do those things, right?
Right.
So why not add in a little more sensation? There's an called sensation play. That could be one of those candles that you melt on you that doesn't burn you. It could be crazy stuff like the violet wand and electroshock. That's out of my edge. That's past my edge of interest, but people love that stuff. There's a whole world of the kink and the BDSM, but there's also just things like sneaking a little. I'll tell you what, my customers have been buying the hell out of a little cock ring called the NOS, N-O-S, from Fun Factory, because not only is it just a wonderful little clitoral vibrator, but it can be worn on the penis. And one of the things that I've been encouraging my fans and followers to do is to get good at cowgirl, which is woman on top. Because I've been practicing this the last couple years. And when I first started doing it, I wasn't very good at it. I didn't know what I was doing, and I didn't know how to make myself have orgasms being on top of my husband. I had pretty much just let him do me with intercourse for the last 25 years or so. And then I was like, wait a minute, I'm getting all switchy. I'm doing you. Let's give it a try. And for some women, that's their go-to way. They're on top. They want to be in control, but I had just not done that. Right. And what's nice about this NOS, N-O-S, the little Fun Factory vibrator, is very low profile. It slides on his penis. And for couples where the guy's getting a little bendy, he's maybe getting a little erectile dysfunction, it also traps some blood in there and gives him a firmer erection, which is nice.
Okay.
Although I would rather men get Gainswave treatments or get a Phoenix Pro, get a P shot, use a vacuum erection device, a penis pump to reverse their atrophy of aging. Don't just accept that as, it just happens. No, it doesn't. And you can reverse it. But the ring is nice because she can get on top, and then she can enjoy penetration, and she can also grind on, press herself against that little ring at the top, and it has a fantastic motor. And then when they're making love in other ways, she can just hold that on her clitoris while she's being penetrated, doggy style, off the edge of the bed, missionary, whatever, because it just slides right in there. So even just something as simple as one toy like that can get couples. And once you start doing it, you're like, well, I got a dozen things laid out on the bed. I'm going to see what I feel like in the moment. And I'm just like, I want to use this one now. Oh, no, let's do this one.
And that's part of spicing things up in the bedroom, right? So in order to spice up your romance, because like everything and anything, the newness wears off, and we have to continue to make it shine.
Right.
So, and that's in the bedroom, outside the bedroom, willing to do things we haven't done before, spicing it up any way possible, because I don't think I know a man alive that will go against it, right? Because they're, so, and then Susan has everything for the man, for the woman, like you said, for the penis, if you're having some kind of erectile dysfunction, all of that is something that we can continue to have great sex in marriages. Because the first thing people think is because, oh, you're married, you must not be having sex, right?
Yeah, they don't know.
Right. So that's before Susan tells them I'm a sexpert. Right? All right, Susan. So this is one of our quick go lives. So tell them where they can find pumps and vibrators and knobs and everything that you have to spice up the bedroom.
Well, I don't sell anything myself like that. I just recommend my current favorites because sex tech is constantly changing and innovating. And that's why the Nose just came out, a couple months ago. And it's interesting because men are emailing me and writing me now and saying, I want to buy some sex toys for my wife. What should I get? Okay. And then I have to be like, okay, well, I got to ask you a few questions before I can make a recommendation. But you can find out about penis pumps and reversing atrophy and gains waves and all those things at betterlover.com. You can, or at Personal Life Media. One is a video site and one is articles. Okay. So if you're more, and honestly, if you go to Personal Life Media, I'll reference all my videos on that. So it has a search box at the top. You can search on anything. It'll take you to all my free ebooks and downloads and sex techniques and all that stuff.
Okay. Sounds good. Sounds good.
I got a question though, Susan, before we get out of here. What kind of question? So if I call you and say I want to buy a sex toy for my wife, right? You said you have to, vet me a little bit.
I have to vet what your wife is like more than anything else.
So give me a couple of questions. I mean, what would you ask me?
Well, the first thing I say,
let's see if he knows the answer. Let's see if he knows the answer.
You know I don't do well on pop quizzes, okay? So we're not taking the pop quiz.
Yeah, this is a pop quiz.
This is for informational purposes only.
Well, the first thing I'd say is, do you want this for her for solo pleasuring? Are you trying to support her solo pleasuring practice? Or is this a toy that you want to use together during lovemaking? So which one would you want me to?
Probably together during lovemaking.
Together during lovemaking.
Yeah.
Okay. So for me, that Nose with the ring, I think is a really, really good product. But I would also get some kind of a good, strong bullet vibe, such as there's a little product called the Tango X from WeVibe that is a very nice pinpoint vibrator for her to use while you're either massaging her or playing with her G-spot or playing with her breasts while she pleasures herself. So I think that's good. And then I would probably get a G-spot toy of some kind, because the G-spot can, once you warm it up, it can take a fair amount of pressure. And unless you're a pretty strong guy, your hands and arms will get tired. And so I do like a number of different G-spot toys, and I have a guide to that at gspotjoy.com, because manufacturers, they sell the toys, but they don't show you how to use them.
Okay.
So I tell you what the different kinds of wands and vibrators are for G-spots that I like. And then you get a video that if you'd like to watch it, you can actually see how they're used, because that's missing. You can't go on YouTube. You can go on YouTube and figure out how to get scratches out of your car, how to use an Instant Pot, but you can't figure out how to use these sex toys to give your wife squirting orgasms.
Right. That's the point area right there on YouTube,
So I
right?
think a good question is, what if there's a couple and things aren't, really spicing the bedroom? How does a man get their spouse, right, to say or to purchase something for her without seeming like it's about sex, right? So how do we help those couples to spice it up, whereas they're open to it? How can they either the male to get the female, or even the female to get their husband to be a little bit more intentional, right? So how do we do that? Or
well, it depends on where they are in their level of communication. If a couple has had health issues and they've kind of fallen off the wagon, if you will, and they want to get back on, or one of them wants to get back on, but they know they can't quite do the things they used to do, or they're worried about feeling like they're going to be pressuring their partner. I have a technique called the magic pill method. It's at magicpillmethod.com, as you can imagine.
I told you,
give it away. I am predictable. And what that is it's basically walks you through, because a lot of guys, they feel like they don't want to bring it up because she's going to get mad at him and talk circles around him, and he's going to lose the conversation. He's just not going to win in this thing. And so the magic pill method is actually a way to approach the discussion so that there's no blame, no shame. And you begin by having a little inventory of the things you used to do that you still think you could do, that you would like to continue to do, and some things that you might do that you've never done that you'd be willing to try. And you compare notes and you come up with a short list of things that you could give a try to. Because what I found with couples where the intimacy gets disrupted and then goes away is that mostly what happens is they stop even touching each other because they're afraid, like, oh, she's going to think I'm just trying to get sex. So one of the very first things that I do is I say, you've got to just start holding each other and touching each other, and not for it to be trying to get sex, but just to get yourselves back to skin on skin and holding. And so one of the techniques that I give away is that holding technique called the soulmate embrace at soulmateembrace.com.
Of course.
Which shows you how to hold and be held in a way that you've never done before. And the minute you do it, you're like, how come we did not ever do this before? Why didn't we think of this? This is fantastic. Can you please do this to me every day now? And it's not sexual, but what happens is it makes you fall in love all over again and look at your partner and be like, how are we not having sex?
Okay, wonderful. Opens up the door. That's wonderful.
It does. I think touch does it. Touch is that thing that really sets everything up. I mean, for me, if I start touching, we need to go have some sex or something.
Yeah.
We need to get intimate. That's just me. I'm just speaking for me.
But sex is important, because that's so true. A lot of couples stop touching. Yeah. And the intimacy is not there because they're not touching. And the touch just reignites all of the feelings and the emotions that are there that want to come out. Right.
And then you just drift apart. I mean, you stop touching, you stop talking, you just kind of become roommates.
Intimacy dies.
Right.
So we're going to change all of that in relationships.
That's right. We're going to have more sex in relationships, right? We're going to bring in some toys in the relationship.
Why not? And then
to this website. Go
ahead.
To answer the final question about if you want to try new things and you are having sex but you want to spice it up, one of the best ways I've found is to just start telling stories about the fantasies that you have about the things that you want to try while you're doing the boring stuff you're doing together. While you're having the boring sex you're having, you just start using fantasy and you start saying, I'm going to pleasure you and I'm going to tell you a little story story, a little fantasy I had about us. And this isn't anything you have to take action on. This is nothing we have to do. It's just a fantasy. But I've been having it on my mind, and I just thought it would be fun to share it while I'm giving you a yoni massage or whatever, or a full body massage or a sensual massage or whatever it is. And then you just start telling them the context of it being this abstract fantasy.
Mhm.
And all of a sudden they're like, well, why don't we just do that?
Yeah, right. Yeah, right.
You take the pressure off, right? It's not, how come we're not doing this, or I want to do this. It's more like, I was having this fantasy and I thought I'd share it with you because maybe you could plus it up.
Right. Absolutely.
Oh, I like that. That's a new form of communication.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, that's what you want out there. Just like, oh, baby, you know what? There's some few things I might want to try. You know what? I'll bring it up. You know. Yeah.
Yes.
It was just a fantasy I had.
Right. It's a fantasy. Right. Yeah.
All right. Well, tell them about the Wednesdays where they can listen to Wednesday's episode.
Yes, Wednesday's episode that Susan was on. It was a wonderful podcast. She talked more about the whole orgasm thing. It was wonderful. Just like it is now. Just to recap. So go to lovingbyondtheido.com/61 and you can get it, or you can go to legendaryrelationship.com/61 and get it there as well.
All right.
I'll just put that up on there so they can know where to go get it. That's where you can find the podcast there. Go there, take a listen to it, enjoy it, go into Susan's world. Be prepared because she has something for everything. I'm telling you, as you can see.
And let's take our marriages off of cruise control and let's actually drive it and come full circle.
That's what it's all about.
Yes. All right. All right. Well, thank you so much, Susan. Again, it was a pleasure seeing you as always.
You too. Yeah.
And it's just we had a great time. And thank you so much for coming on.
All right,
have a great weekend, and thanks everybody for tuning in.
Yep. David said thank you for the lovely conversation. Thank you, David, for hanging with us. We really appreciate it. Hope you learned something. And if you're not hooked up with Susan, please go over there and check her out. I'm telling you, man, you will not be disappointed at all. All right, guys.
Have a great Friday.
All right. Susan, hold on just 1 second. All right, guys. Thank you so much. We really appreciate it. Don't forget to check us out, legendaryrelationship.com. And for the podcast, Loving Beyond the I Do podcast.
And that's it for Sex Talk today.
Yep. Thank you.